Know the difference? It's Team Tech Trust, part 2 of our conversation with Brandon Lehman, a wealth manager at Annex Wealth Management, also an engineer officer in the Army National Guard. Part 1, we covered basics to consider when retirement is on the horizon. In this section, we're going to talk about the post-military career. And Brandon, I'll start with asking, how does a soldier convert their experience to civilian terms on a resume? And that's important. That's a lot of times you got to look and see. You've got a career of 20 years and you have done a bunch of different things that not necessarily translate to the civilian world unless you really think about it, right?
Yeah, one of the things that we recommend soldiers do is look at their OERs or their NCOERs. This is a great baseline for you to go, okay, what have I done year after year? You get one every year. So it's going to be really long. There's a lot of data there, but you can glean from there facts about your career. The other key, though, that you need to think about is nobody talks like us. We have our own acronyms. We talk in a very different language, whether you're Air Force, Guard, Army, Marine Corps, we all speak differently. So you need to figure out what those terms mean and translate that to the civilian world. So it's not command time, it's leadership. It's those small things make a really big difference from having a person who has no military experience reading that resume. It helps them understand what you've truly done and relate that to how you can benefit their firm. And there are a lot of firms out there looking to hire veterans. You think Amazon, Google, Facebook, these people want to hire vets. We bring a lot of great skills to the forefront, especially on the leadership area. It is good to have a strong resume based off of what you've done in your career. And again, I think the best place to start is either your OERs or your NCOERs.
You mentioned a couple of companies that look for and recruit veterans. Do you need a certain type of HR person to kind of decode that?
It's really good to find recruiters that specialize in this. Hire Veterans is a great company I've seen out there. I've connected on LinkedIn. They do a really good job help translating your military skills and career to the civilian world. They'll partner with you. They'll guide you. They'll give you the advice. I really do recommend going on LinkedIn, diving deep and looking for these veterans groups. If all else, you need to be on LinkedIn and start seeing what's out there for you. And you need to realize that the last schools you've completed, if they've been ILE, Halo, Airborne, Ranger, while they're great schools, those don't really translate well over to the military world. So get in some of the opportunities where you can get some business education, where you can advance your skills that might fit better inside of the civilian world, because it's great to be airborne, but doesn't do a lot of good to jump out of an airplane for Amazon or Google.
When somebody starts to explore private sector or government contractor jobs, you mentioned LinkedIn. What other places?
I think the other thing to look at too is, you have a lot of good experience on the federal side of it, being in the military. You should look at USAJOBS. They're going to give you the opportunity to look for positions that exist on the federal side of the docket. And just to understand that as of 2016, there is a restriction for DoD jobs. Not all federal agencies have this, but the DoD does, that you cannot start a GS position until 6 months after your retirement date. So not the day you effectively started your terminal leave, but the day you retire.
Brandon Lehman is with us. He's a wealth manager at Annex Wealth Management, also an engineer officer in the Army National Guard, so he sees both sides of the coin. How about GS or federal employment? Explain what that is, and are there restrictions?
Again, the key here is you have a lot of great expertise working with other agencies, especially as you move up through your career. You get on that battalion, brigade, or division staff. You have partnered with other interagencies throughout the federal government, potentially looking to transfer over to one of those and get a GS position or a government position. You have a good opportunity there, but understand that restriction of, you have to wait until 6 months after your retirement date. You can get a waiver, and it is possible, but we're all well aware of how difficult it is to get waivers in today's military environment.
There's something called SFLTP. Am I saying that right? That Soldier for Life Transition Assistance Program?
That is correct. Key here is you don't have to wait until you're 12 months out from retirement to actually attend TAP. These are great classes that gives you fundamentals and are geared towards separating soldiers. And there is plenty of useful information and can help get you, kind of on track, understand where you're going in retirement and guide you down the right path. My personal opinion, from what I've heard from a lot of individuals, I personally have not gone through this, but Day 5 offers a lot of information on VA benefits. And this is really important, understanding the benefits that are available to you through the VA. This is a 5-day course, though. So just make sure you coordinate with your command team that you can have those 5 days away from whatever your current role is.
Do you speak with other veterans who are transitioning and are having trouble? And if they are having trouble, what kinds of things are they encountering?
I do, and I've seen a lot of it. I personally know a lot of individuals who've come off active duty and kind of struggle with the transition to civilian life. And my best advice and what I've encountered that's really helped them is they take a lot of time to get to know their veteran community and find strong bonds in there so they can still have those relationships, even though they're on the civilian side, not on the active duty. They can talk, they can work through it, they can discuss ideas, they can be together. And that could be the VFW, the American Legion. Everybody thinks of those as places where old gentlemen who fought in Vietnam go, but it really isn't. I've been a part of the American Legion. It's a great place to just go socialize, share ideas, and just get to know people in your community.
Fantastic. Brandon Lehman, wealth manager at Annex Wealth Management, also an engineer officer in the Army National Guard. In part 3 of our conversation, we're going to cover the importance of medical records. Brandon, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Danny.